digitalization is changing the way we live and work. The question of how people will live in the future is one that we all decide together. On all continents, in all countries of the world. These challenges are great opportunities for all of us. The global society of the future needs our know-how, creativity, and passion. Needs us to pave the way for sustainable development in all important sectors. Together, we can give the right answers to the questions of today and tomorrow. Together, we will pave the way to the all-electric society, and thus make a significant contribution to a sustainable future for the global society. Empowering the all-electric society.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third day of the Energy Security Forum, which is the final forum of the year for the Energy Club, which is the business community that brings together leading companies in the Ukrainian energy market and creates opportunities for communication between its stakeholders in a cycle of more than 90 events in 2022. Our meeting is not broadcast online, but the recording will be available on YouTube on the Energy Club's channel. I have to mention, of course, the forum partners. These are Ukrainian Energy Exchange, Nadra Geo Invest Limited Liability Company, Phoenix Contact Limited Liability Company, and the government of Germany, because the event is supported by the German government as part of the project promoting energy efficiency and the implementation of the EU Energy Efficiency Directive in Ukraine, which is being implemented by the German government company GIZ. I also want to draw your attention and everybody's who will be watching that tomorrow on the 24th of November, the Ukrainian Energy Exchange, the Association of Gas Traders of Ukraine, the All Ukrainian Energy Assembly, and the Energy Club are organizing a charity auction, which will be held on the exchange, and all funds from the sale of 4 exclusive lots will be transferred to the needs of the armed forces of Ukraine. So today, our first discussion is about the prospect of creating a regional Eastern European gas hub and potential benefits for Europe and Ukraine. Considering the great importance of the topic, we do not set the strict time limit. However, audience research shows that the span of attention is better utilized within 7 or 8 minutes. And now I am pleased and indeed honored to offer the floor to Mr. Mykola Kolisnyk, the Deputy Minister of Energy of Ukraine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you for today's discussion of very in-time question, taking into account current situation into Ukraine. All our European partners always start negotiations and communications with key question. How to secure energy markets, and the only answer they have is to have solidarity between the countries in developing the energy markets in the nearest time today and the nearest years. How to build, and the one of the key question that is now discussed in Europe and other countries, how to make these markets valuable and liquid, how to define the right benchmark for natural gas, index of value of natural gas in these markets. There is a lot of discussion proposition. One of them is to indicate, for example, benchmark of LNG, but the other one is to make this benchmark more local. For example, Eastern Europe benchmark, Western Europe benchmark to upgrade existing, for example, existing benchmarks. But at that time, we do understand that all the discussions is based beforehand on existing physical flows of natural gas, taking into account all European initiative to increase the volume in LNG, in new pipeline flows, forecasting once again their energy balance in a 5 year before. So they do understand how now the index will work, and they try to secure this from any uncompetitive influence. In this situation, we can underline some European initiatives that exist for last year. For example, the first of them, and really important, that DG Energy in the European Commission highlighted as one of priority, it's development of infrastructure to receive alternative physical flow of natural gas. For example, from Caspian countries, from Norwegian countries. In this occasion, we see one of the nearest initiative, it's String, which were incorporated like last year ago, but now it has like a new intention, new flow, and all TCO operators of neighbor countries began to discuss this initiative once again in new direction, taking into account one basic thing, that they want to make this project available already now, taking into account existing infrastructure, not building new interconnection. But unfortunately, before like latest year, they already built a lot components of this String project. For example, we know that latest October, the interconnection between Greece and Bulgaria already were put it in process. It started to work. Previously, they have already interconnection between Bulgaria and Romania. Hungary built interconnection like something about 2 years ago. They built interconnection with Slovakia String. String, we know this October start interconnection with Poland. So frankly, this project were like in the last step of its implementation, but the only one point were not connected is between Romania and Hungary on enough volumes as it was planned between them. And now, especially in this area, they take into account existing infrastructure and trying to discuss to find some solution how to make this market unique. Why this initiative is very important for them? Because they understand that their energy is now focused not only in internal market. They taken into the scope the regional aspect. And when they now try to forecast their energy balance in electricity, natural gas, they take into account regional aspects, intergovernmental flows, and other things. That's why we do understand that this direction is right. We also take into account we have a large number of imports should help us to go through the winter heating season. And this is one of key directions and key initiatives that we as a country, we as the government, I do believe that operator of GTS should join as quick as possible. The second question that is very briefly discussed, it's market coupling. And one of the important points and step, it's like make the unique market regulation. Ukraine adopts the law of natural gas. Ukraine already adopts the codex of GTs of DCO, and we have their balancing. We do not have, unfortunately, 100% of metering. We have, and we understand our homework. what we should do in internal market, but comparing with other neighborhood countries, I can say we are very succeed in implementing all European directives and European market rules. We have a lot of services on the level of GTSEU and underground gas storages that allow us to involve independent European gas traders on our market. And the key interest for them will be always liquidity. That's the point how we can involve another sources, another physical flow, another alternative molecule of natural gas. The third point that is now briefly discussed between the countries is the quality of natural gas. Breaking the borders between the country and natural gas market, it's one of the key points that how we can break the borders, because now the volume of LNG on the European market increased quite highly. LNG has another quality of natural gas. It has another number of water, another number of component of methane, and we need to update our current regulation and to be in line with the criteria to the natural gas, which is implemented in the neighborhood countries. At the same time, we need to take into account current regulation regarding some penalties in case of not relevant volumes, not relevant quality. So this should be implemented in line what we have in our neighborhood countries, and that's one of the point how these services could be done. There is initiative to incorporate additional entry-exit points. There is initiative to incorporate additional services between the TCO operator to make the natural gas exchange and trading options more flexible. But that's one of the next point, and this is market trading platforms. Ukraine has well-developed platform web that can provide a lot of services of trading in underground, in URVTP, virtual trade point, and that helps and highlights Ukraine as well-developed market in this case. So we can, of course, we have already also incorporated the platform of day balancing of GTSEU, where not big volumes is traded, but it's well understandable. We're not in market situation now, we're at war, and this aspect should be taken into account. But at the same time, market exists, market works. And even our European partners is very surprised how a bank system works, still works, how our gas market still works. There is normal relations. Yes, we understand there is problems, but anyway, the market functioning, and that shows the level of sustainability in this market, sustainability of relations, sustainability of instruments that is implemented. I do believe today the other participants will highlight different initiatives in their side, but I would like to end my today's speech from one key point. Now we understand that blackmail of our of Gazprom for sure will not stop, and we understand that the question of zero transit, it's a question of time. That's why we need to have a new look on internal gas market structure, and especially on gas infrastructure. We need to optimize existing infrastructure and to move directly to more efficient, economically efficient model. The structure of consumption of natural gas due to the war risk is restructured quite strongly, taking into account, for example, annual before. So now we understand that we are in a new reality regarding the consumption structure and the infrastructure which is needed to send these volumes to the end users and to neighbor countries. That's why we have a lot joint homework, how to go through this rebuilding of natural gas, but at the same time, we need to rebuild it in line with European initiatives like Repower Europe and new energy infrastructure of East Europe. And we are briefly moving to this direction. Thank you, sir. If there will be any question, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kolisnyk, for this profound and yet concise overview of the situation, and also for outlining the tasks that Ukraine is facing. Now let's listen to Mr. Artem Kompan, who is the chairman of the board of the Association of Energy Suppliers.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak at this conference, and thanks for the organizers. Now it's very important for a country to fight not only on the battlefield, but also on the energy front as well. And as a country, we have a unique opportunity that is unfortunately given us by blood. Become a full member of the European energy system, and Ukraine, with its technical capabilities and reserve of resources, is the most promising part in the whole Europe. Due to the global changes, we have a lot of opportunities that we can give to Europe. First, we need to know what role Ukraine can play in the global changes in energy sector after the war. First, Ukraine have a big reserves of natural gas, and we have now opportunity to exporting from 2 to 3 billion cubic meters of gas in the near future. But we must do a lot of things with energy efficiency program and with our development of a lot of programs with gas production, and give to the gas production companies more preferences and give more preferences to investors. We also the largest storage facility in Europe. We have the largest storage facility in Europe to store up. We have ability to store up 30 billion cubic meters, and already we're able today to provide storage services for European gas traders for 10-15 billion cubic meter per year. Also, our unique pipeline transport system has a huge potential for transit, and taking into account this opportunity and geographical capabilities, it's quite logical to consider the projects of building LNG terminals based on the Odessa OPZ port plant that's well known in Ukraine. And our system is also very promising to become the flagship for implementation of projects with Green Deal. All these projects are possible, of course, exclusively within the framework of transparent management system and market model. Unfortunately, now we have a lot of problems with market model and with transparency. And I hope after the war, we can make some steps, not back, but towards the market model and transparency management model and transparency management system. Now we are making some programs and some things about this, and we thanks to organize one more time to give us a chance to take a part of in this conference, and we hope that we can do not only talking about this, and we must do now a lot of steps, and we must be prepared to make all these steps and implement all these steps after the war.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kompan, for, as usual, straightforward and inspiring presentation. And now we are going to listen to Roman Storozhev, who is the president of the Association Subsoil Users of Ukraine. Mr. Storozhev, the mic is yours.
Good morning, colleagues. Although after so many years, good morning, friends. In these difficult times for all of us, I am especially excited to greet all of you today. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to our long-term partner, Energy Club, for the invitation and the excellent organization of the forum. In today's realities, it is rather difficult to predict any prospects. However, as market participants, we have always been interested in the prospect of creating a gas hub in Ukraine. It would probably really be correct to call it Eastern European gas hub. As we know, in the past, we considered a number of models. They seemed real. The main feature of all of these models was the long-term direction of the movement of energy resources from the east to west. It meant the basis of most hub models has always been transit from Russia to Europe, based on idea of free energy markets in Europe and the third energy package. And the motivation was the integration of Ukrainian and European energy systems, and as a result, the shift of points of transactions to the northern and eastern borders of Ukraine, increase of liquidity of local markets, and new possibilities of natural gas transaction operation. At the moment, due to the unjustified war of Russia against Ukraine, we are seeing a global changes of the structure of natural gas suppliers to Europe. So the East-West model is no longer relevant. Gazprom and Russia are extremely fast losing their share in the European gas markets. Today, we can confidently assert that the Russian doctrine of energy as a weapon of political pressure and chantage has been globally failed. What prospects for creating a gas hub in Ukraine can we talk about at the moment? I would like just to highlight the numbers of clear advantages of Ukrainian gas transmission system and some points that in my mind should be done in future to realize an idea of the gas hub in Ukraine. First, a powerful gas transmission system, which is one of largest and most extensive in Europe. The system is balanced, absolutely stable and stress resistant. As practice has shown, the system is flexible and capable of solving the most complex technical problems in the shortest possible time. The system is under control of GTS operator, which meet almost all requirements of European standards. At the moment, the operator offers a variety of service packages for the sale of standardized trading products at quite competitive rates in Europe. Second, one of the most gas storage facilities in Europe, operated by a gas storage operator that provides storage services to residents and non-residents, including a custom warehouse. Tariffs are among the lowest in Europe. Operating interconnectors with most of the related European gas transmission system operators, which allows for import-export operation, including virtual transactions. What I think needs to be done in the future? First, completion of construction of interconnectors with all related operators to increase export-import capacities and gain access to new transportation routes. Promoting the role of Ukrainian GTS as a peak load balancing system for Europe due to the presence of powerful transport capabilities and large free natural gas storage capacities. as it was partly realized 2 years ago. Activation of implementation biomethane gas project for export of biomethane to EU with assistance for government of Ukraine and European Commission as one of the most perspective area of Green Deal's energy in the gas sector. Development of highly liquid trading platform for natural gas trading, creating Ukrainian gas index. Construction of terminal and port facility for receiving LNG. In condition of war, as well as the high competition of gas transmission system of our continent, rapid development of routes for supply of natural gas, we see the difficult challenges await us. But I am sure in the nearest future, Ukraine will take one of the fundamental niches in the new architecture of the European system of energy markets and security, where there are no place for aggression, threats, and chantage. Thank you for your attention and glory to Ukraine. Thank you.
Glory to Ukraine, glory to heroes, and thank you very much for this detailed presentation and also for drawing our attention to biomethane and all this kind of stuff, as usual, meticulous and forward-looking. Now we give the floor to, is Taras Savchenko with us? Just a moment, let me see. No, not, I don't see Mr. Savchenko, but we have with us Willem Coppoolse from the ERU group, and this is the time for him to speak.
So what can I say? It is a very, very difficult times. It's really hard to see ahead. So I think most of us have teams or and ourselves are working already in quite difficult conditions. The team of ERU is mainly in Kiev. There is still something like a market going on in Ukraine, but we are also trying to develop and reposition the company even more to Eastern Europe. I think what was said, just some comments, what was said before on transit, yes, the Russian transit will end maybe in January, which is the usual period for Russians to stop the transit, or later, but this is something that well has been prepared very well by the TSO at least, and I think also Naftogaz is preparing for it. So so that's something the country will be prepared for. Of course, the main issue is electricity and the only electricity production facilities. So the question is more whether the gas can be consumed and if there is enough gas for next winter. Very difficult to work on projects like integration and help. I think that myself, I'm quite strongly also involved in Moldova. Moldova, well, is still getting gas, but has also quite a strong electricity problem. Of course, less than in Ukraine. So I think that the markets, everything that should enable market working is in fact existing in Ukraine, even though the exchange, so the web is unfortunately really not working anymore, and also Naftogaz is not using this exchange anymore. So that's maybe a small regret on market working. So the other platform is working, but so what else can we say? I think the preparation of the after-war Ukraine is indeed to attract investment. I think that's the most important one, and where Ukraine has lacked in the past. So to attract investment in production, in generation facilities, and I think that the main work of all of us is to convince although of course this is not a priority today for the decision makers, is to prepare for an investment climate that will enable to attract the American, the German, the European, the investment that will come and to repair the country and prepare the new energy market. So I think on terms of market working and independent operators, a lot has been done, and I think there Ukraine can show that the framework exists. What is not done and what has not been done, and unfortunately it's also some as for the traders, for example, to maintain the possibility to store in Ukraine and to use the custom warehouse regime should really be protected, because this is showing to foreign investors that they can invest and then they can bring gas. So that's what happened in the last months. Foreign traders have been bringing gas into Ukraine because there were big spreads. European storages were full in the last 2 months, and there were big spreads between the spot and the forward. So this has attracted and volumes have been flowing into Ukrainian storage. So, but we see already that traders are resending their gas to Europe because they are afraid of change in regulation, and then that their gas might be blocked. It's a small point. It's not that important, but it's a kind of test for the investment climate today and in the future. On biogas, I fully agree. This should be prepared too. So while the war is not ended, there should be preparation, and there are even some courageous companies who continue their projects of reconversion into biomethane. So let's get this ready, and we are also working on helping this, supporting this. Let's get the biomethane structure ready so that projects can start, and new investments, especially in projects, can be done as soon as the war is over, or even if in Western Ukraine the situation is a bit calmer. So I think the focus should especially be on the investment climate, because that's what Ukraine needs. That's all I wanted to say, I think. Thank you.
Well, if even this is all you wanted to say, you made a tangible contribution. And since no one of the announced speakers has joined us at the moment, I mean those who weren't with us at the beginning, now is the time to ask questions and exchange opinions on what the other participants have said. Do you have any questions, gentlemen? Any points that you would like to clarify in your presentations or in what the others have said?
Maybe a question from me to Roman. So on the production side, what is the situation, and how are production side being protected?
Mr. Storozhev?
A production sector now is lost some volumes, of course, of the situation. It was connected with low demand in the local market, and also attacks of infrastructure of gas companies, especially UGV. So, but anyway, and however, the system of extraction gas in Ukraine is stable, and the volumes should be on the level of the past year, maybe a bit lower. So we have not bad perspective for this winter. Of course, it depends on the situation on the front and new possible attacks from the Russian side. But anyway, we see that Ukrainian private companies and government company of gas extraction really powerful and really stable and stress resistant, and continuing extracting in this difficult condition. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions, remarks? Not at the moment. Maybe someone would like to sum up what we have heard from each other. Yes, Roman. I think that you're in a good position to make the final remarks of this session.
I agreed in general with all speakers, of course, and I'm pretty sure that we have good perspective in the future, and especially for the gas hub, we have all conditions for build it in the future. Of course, now it's maybe like dream, but anyway, technical possibilities and potentially Ukraine is a great country for leading position of European gas market. We have connection interconnection with all of European countries, and we can balancing all this system in the future with the new roads of gas supplying for Europe and for our local markets. We have a good potential of producers who use gas like energy and based of it. I think the demand will be rise in the future. So at the end of the war, after our victory, we have to done many things, but anyway, we're working and we believe in the future. So let's do it.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have potential, and one of the aspects of our potential are such determined and knowledgeable people as the ones who took part in this discussion. If Willem or Artem want to say a couple of words to round up our conversation, I'm going to allow it. No, not at the moment. Well, yes, Willem.
No, nothing special, but thanks a lot, and courage to everyone, of course.
All right, let's take care of ourselves, the industry, and of each other. And of course, thank you, the Energy Forum and other partners for Energy Club and other partners who gave this opportunity to listen to such knowledgeable speakers. Before I close this panel, I'd like to remind that on the 24th of November, tomorrow, the Ukrainian Energy Exchange, the Association of Gas Traders of Ukraine, and the All Ukrainian Energy Assembly, and of course the Energy Club business community, will hold a charity auction where 4 exclusive lots will be offered for purchase, and all the funds from the sale of these lots will be transferred to the needs of the armed forces of Ukraine. You may find the details at our site iclub.energy. Meanwhile, thank you everyone, and keep up the good work. Goodbye.
An efficient and intelligent traffic infrastructure will enable all kinds of connections between the other sectors. The comprehensive digitalization and automation of the sector infrastructure will open up enormous potential for efficiency increases. Road, rail, and water traffic will flow faster and more smoothly. This saves time and energy, and it's good for the climate. At the same time, the energy requirement of the smart transportation infrastructure itself will also be controlled intelligently and reduced massively overall.